Welcome to the Real P&L Trading Show, where I share my real P&L on 3 accounts and share my proprietary SafeWheel options trade system for free. And I come in here every week and show you my P&L. Please type in the chat that you can hear me okay. I want to make sure my audio is working. And be sure to post any questions that you might have. The sooner the better. I don't want to end the broadcast before I get to all the questions. All right, so let's get into the earnings edge. Let's see what's going on. You can see my P&L right here, $8,819. I started this account with $5,000. See if I can pull up the spreadsheet over here. Started this account with $5,000 back in 2022 in January. Did 63%, where the S&P was down 19. Let me back up a little bit. Since I did my last update in 2022, my record's 15, 17, and 6. So basically around a 50% win rate. Average win 932, average loss 452. So if you win half your trades and your winners are larger than your losers, you come out ahead, and that's what this system is designed to do. Now in 2023, let's see, 8818. Let me make sure that's accurate. 8819, it's close enough. So you can see I'm up about 8%. The market, let's see, what's the market up? SPY trading at 455.85. Is that 455.85? Yeah, it's actually up. 455.85. Oh, you guys hear me okay? Good. Thank you. I appreciate that. Market's up 19%, almost 20% this year. So the market's making quite a run here in 2023. When you look at the earnings edge from inception, January 2022 versus the market's still down 4%. The earnings edge is up 76%. Interesting how the market's still down 4% from the beginning of 2022, even with this crazy run last month, up almost 9%. So that's the earnings edge. Nothing, I didn't have any trades. Nothing passed through any of the filters for earnings edge. So I did not make a trade. So I want to make sure that before I make a trade with the earnings edge, that everything fits through all the filters. I don't just pick something because I want to trade something. Okay, so that's what happened with the earnings edge. Let's talk about the Premier Level 5. I'll go into that account. Okay, so you can see here 35,398. So let's make sure that that's what's in the spreadsheet so we can look at the numbers. 35,403. 35,403. Okay, so I started this on April 8th, 2022, not in the beginning of the year. So up about 12% last year, where the S&P was down 6. And this year to date, up 5.4, where the market again is almost near 20. But remember, on a risk-adjusted basis, I'm getting about 1/4 the drawdowns. So you can multiply this number by 4. So I'm pretty much even with the market on a risk-adjusted basis. But starting from April 8th of 2022, the Premier Level 5 is up 18%, which with much lower drawdowns compared to the S&P 500 up 11.5%. Okay, so that's the Premier Level 5. So you can see the actual P&L there. All right, let's get into the SafeWheel. The SafeWheel here typically get about half the drawdowns of the S&P, typically. And let's see where the SafeWheel lies right now. 64.31. 64.31. Wow, down about $10. 64.31. Okay, so again, SafeWheel 2022 outperformed. I started doing this live, my live SafeWheel right in front of you in live streams, up 21% versus minus 19 in 2022. This year, 5.69 versus 1920. So underperforming this year, but overall, SafeWheel's up 28% versus the market down 4% since inception, since January 2022, when I started sharing the system and trading it live right here on the live stream. Almost every trade that I've made is live. I do make a trade on Fridays, a small $5 trade, but pretty much everything has been live. All the trades have been live. Okay, so what do I need to do with the safe wheel? I'm in DKNG, and the question I have is, do I own any shares? I do not. So I wasn't assigned any shares, and I do have this long call that I put on Friday. I paid like $6 for it because I sold the other one for $1. So I have this long call, which is something I don't need to worry about because I did that on Friday. And now I'm looking at the put hedge, the hedge to the system, my proactive hedge. And that's at the $28 put. So two questions on this hedge. One, is it under 100 days? No. So it's not depreciating too fast. That's good. I'm going to leave it alone there. And then 28, is that within 70% of FCX? So FCX trading at 38.18. So I'm just going to run this real quick. 38.18 times 0.7 is 26.72. So the put has to be at least higher than 26.72, and it is. It's at $28. So it is close enough to the actual price of SCX to protect it according to the safe wheel guidelines. So now, what do I do next? I'm going to run the traditional wheel. I like to, according to the plan, trade. I put DKNG in here. I like to sell here in the near term, the one that expires at the end of this week. That way, I get as much depreciation as possible. How much am I going to get? I want to get at least 38 cents, and I want to be out of the money. So, and I want to sell a put because that's the traditional wheel. That's what I'm running right now. Now that I have my hedges on, I'm going to run the traditional wheel. I don't own any shares. I'm not selling a covered call. I'm going to sell a put. I'm going to go with the 37.50. And the reason why I chose that one is out of the money, and it's at least $38 or more. So I'm going to sell one of these. Now, as far as sizing, I have between $5,000 and $10,000. I'm trading a stock between $20 and $40, and therefore I'm using margin, and I am trading one of the traditional wheel and three put hedges. So let's see what I can sell this for. I'm just going to sell one. Mid price is 50 cents. Maybe try to collect $51. Okay, it looks like it did collect $51. Okay. So now I have my two hedges, right? My two longs here, my two hedges, and I'm selling my put. I'm running my wheel strategy around these hedges now. And I don't need to do anything until next week. This will, I'll either get assigned or this will expire worthless by the end of the week. Then I'll come in on Monday and I'll look at the account. Maybe I'll own 100 shares. Maybe I'll try to sell a covered call, or maybe this won't do anything and then I'll sell another put. Okay. Any questions here? If you guys have any questions about the safe wheel, I can help anyone. Let's see, these guys saying that the audio is all working good. Kevin, good morning from Lakeland, Florida. All right. Zoli, what's your opinion about Tom King's trading style? He shows the P&L on 3 accounts in 4 years. The main account is up a lot from 30K to 330. I think it's pretty aggressive. The thing, it's going to work well in 3 out of the 4 markets, what he's doing. Now, he might have put on a hedge, like he might be proactively hedged. It just depends on where you are. If you're, excuse me, if you're early in his campaign, I believe that you're going to have to buy some extra hedges and make sure that those are worth buying. In other words, you don't want to spend too much. Now, the other thing, one thing I don't know a lot about it. I know a little bit. One thing I like and don't like. What I don't like, I do like the fact that it's kind of long and the market just goes up. I mean, that's what's been happening. But I don't like that it's not proactively hedged. Now, like I said, maybe it is proactively hedged after a while, after you get the campaign going. I haven't looked into it enough in detail. But as far as when you begin, you're going to have to buy those hedges. So I want to make sure that I'm proactively hedged, because when the market crashes, you're not ready for that. You can't put something on after the fact to hedge your position when the market crashes. You don't know when that's going to happen. It could crash tomorrow, and we could be sitting here thinking, "Oh, yeah, we didn't know it was going to crash, and oh, let's try to put on a hedge now." No, it's too late, right? Because hedges are typically used. They're used for volatility, not necessarily delta or direction. It's more of a vega thing, right? So when you buy those long puts, they give you a lot of value because of volatility, not because they're in the money, right? So it's all about volatility. So you want to be proactively hedged. You want to buy hedges when the volatility is low, right? So you want to be proactive. That's the only thing that I think about Tom King. Haven't looked at it in detail enough to know, but that's just kind of my first thought process about what he's doing over there. I haven't got, like I said, don't have the details enough, just giving you my opinion of where I'm at. Bruce says, "This is awesome." Thank you, Bruce. Thanks for streaming. You are welcome. Oh, yeah. Sounds like I need some hot tea and a shot of whiskey. Yeah, I have a cold, obviously. Yeah, you can tell. Okay, James, the wheel that I was exposed to and traded was targeting a 3% of the cash secured per week, then rolling until you take delivery. Would there be a merit in selling 3% versus 1%? So if I try to sell 3%, I might not get enough premium, and might not be out of the money. I might have to be in the money. Unless you're trading some stock like Tesla, something that's really, really volatile. Um, so it just depends. I mean, if you want to try to get, if I was doing this with Tesla, I could probably get that 3% out of the money, but I want to be out of the money. I don't want to be in the money when I sell my put. So that's maybe that 3% versus the 1% question. Does it have any merit? Well, I just want to make sure that I'm proactively hedged. You can backtest something that would give you 3% instead of 1% when you sell the put or the covered call, and see how that works out for you. You're not going to be using DKNG. You'll be using some other stock with a lot more volatility. Okay, I don't see any more questions. I want to give you guys a second here. If you have any other questions about the safe wheel, it sounds like a lot of people probably got the safe wheel down pretty good, considering there's not a lot of questions. And the Shovel says, "Let's do this." Okay, Shovel, let's do this. All right. Well, I don't see any more questions. I am going to wind this down, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week. And one thing I always like to say before I end the live stream, if the P&L is not real, what else are they trying to conceal? See you next week.